process. You start going through the coins that you find in here, and from there you start to do the analysis. I like to see volume personally, so I always check on volume. I'll go through the more recent plays that we've seen, but let me show you the potential of shitcoins and why we always say, like, let me switch my screen to my notes. Like, everyone knows this note by now. Now, I had this note like since November when I went heavy into shitcoins. Like, my first shitcoin was like back in March 2021 when I aped on Shiba when no one even knew what was Shiba. But I went harder on shitcoins back in November. Here is what I decided. I want 1 ETH, like this is like a general rule. 1 ETH for gambling. I want to gamble into 10 plays. Yes, there is gas involved, but let's ignore it for a second. Like, we can call this 1.1 ETH. Now, I am okay being drugged or dumb 8 plays, like losing 0.8. All I need 2 plays to give me the 50x, or 1 play to give me the 100x. Now, this is for me personally. Don't follow this. If you have a 3, 5, 10x, sell or sell half your bag. For me, I don't care about small profit. I want that 0.2 to 10 ETH kind of plays. And I had them multiple times. I personally saw someone that aped on Mongoose with 0.05 and exited with 40 ETH. It was like mind-boggling, but it happened. I went through the Ether scan. He literally aped with 0.05 on day 1. 3-4 days later, he exited with 40 ETH. So it was crazy. This is like life-changing money, especially that ETH was like $5,000, around the $5,000 back in December. So this is the potential of shitcoins. Yes?
I don't know what it looks like yet.
Now, Mongoose, like this is Mongoose. It died now. Market cap is $2 million. But when it first launched, as you noticed, most shitcoins launch between $10 and $100,000 market cap. Now, there's a story behind Mongoose and why it went viral, why it reached $200 million market cap. There was like a senator hearing, and one of the senates was making like fun of crypto, and he was like saying, like, we have Shiba, we have Dogi, maybe someone will launch a Mongoose. Crypto Twitter went crazy on him. 2 hours later, someone launched this, and like it went from $10,000 market cap to $200 million. Like, this is like 0.05 here is like 100 ETH here, or 200 ETH. Now, most people didn't wait and sold the top. A lot of people sold here, sold here. I personally sold this at 20x. Like, I ate with 0.05, exited with 1 ETH, and I exited like around here. I didn't even catch this movement. Now, this is not like the only example. Like, we know that the one that started this movement on like back in November was GM. GM was a huge meme back in November. Like we NFT and crypto people, we have our own slang. Like, we never say good morning. We say GM. This was like the first one to launch with our slang, and literally went from like $10,000 market cap all the way to $1 billion. Like, literally $1,000 on day 1 is $1 million on day 3. Literally 72 hours. Launched on 9th of November. By 12th of November, it was $1 billion market cap. A smaller example from like, this is like more recent. Here's the thing. You will notice trends. Now, a few weeks ago, we had this family trend. We had pro, this, mom, that, like, you need to understand that we will always have trends in NFTs. Another trend that we've seen is like the cheese coins. Literally back in late February, we called it the cheese season. Back to bro, like, I remember I was giving like a VC and this to apes, and 2 hours after the VC, a guy found this play on Dex Screener, aped at like $200 or $300,000 market cap. It went to $20 million. He sold at like 20x, but it went even higher. If he waited, it would be like 50x. Cheddar was like crazier because Cheddar reached $2 billion market cap. $1,000 here is $2 million here in like a week. So no other asset will give you what you can do in shitcoins. But it's not always rainbows and roses. 90% of these coins rug or dump or honeypot or whatever happened. I'm sure you've seen many plays that go to zero. So it's not always that good. But this is why we say, be okay losing. Be okay being rugged. Be okay being rugged 8 times. Because all it takes 1 or 2 good plays to go from 1 ETH to 10 or 20 ETH capital, even with the 8 that rugged you. Here's how you do it. Have like a standard capital for each play. Let's say 0.1. If you lose 0.1, this is your loss. But if you do a 10x, you have 1 ETH now. So it already paid for the loss and gave you an extra 9x profit. Any questions so far?
Yeah, I've got a question, bro. Do you do any research on the project, or you just check the charts and put the money in?
I do research later. I'll give you one of my 100x plays. Let me open the first chart. Okay. This was my first 100x play, MCC. Now, it didn't rug, they just moved the contract to a new contract. I ate on MCC with 0.2 at around $1 to $2 million market cap, and it reached 160. I literally ate with 0.2, sold for 12 ETH. So even if I lost during that period, like 10 plays that cost me like 2 ETH, I still have 10 ETH in net profit after all the losers. So this was like my very first big play, and it gave me that 100x, not 100, like 55x in like 4 days. Like this launched on November 19th. By November 25th, it was at all-time high. Now, the research that I do is more of a volume research. Let me show you, for example, GM. Like if I was around when GM launched, keep in mind, this is the 4-hour chart, but even with the 4-hour chart, like within the first 4 hours, it had almost $2 million volume. Like you guys, you've seen many plays now. We don't see this a lot. So if you see something that goes to that much volume within the first 4 hours, this is like, can be the play of the month or play of the quarter. Now, did it stop there? The next 4 hours, almost $7 million. That means in 8 hours, almost 10 or $9 million in volume. Like this is more than most of the publicly traded companies' volume in 8 hours on a shitcoin. So when you see a shitcoin that does $10 million or $8 million or $5 million in 8 hours, I personally jump, and I don't jump with a small amount. I jump like I go heavy on something like this. I usually try to go with the first 5 to 15 minutes candles and analyze, but because these like launched few months ago, I can't do the 15 minutes candle and keep scrolling. But let's look at Mongoose volume. Again, the first 4 hours, can you see the volume, by the way?
Yeah, it's top left, right?
Yes, almost $1.7 million, then almost $3.4 million. That's like $5 million in 8 hours. This is crazy for shitcoins. If I find something like this, I'm aping, and I don't think. Give it a few days. Like any play that can achieve these numbers, a play that will give you that 50x or 100x. Now, that doesn't mean if it has lower volume, like let's look at cheddar. Cheddar did 20,000x. 20,000x meaning every dollar you put in gave you $20,000 back. Sounds crazy. But these are like let's look at the volume on cheddar. Like the first 4 hours was like 140,000. Still decent.
You put $1, you come out to $20,000.
Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself.
Shitcoin after.
Admin, please mute any hot miking. So this had 140,000, then 110,000. So it didn't have that much volume, but this one like went viral like after like 2 weeks of launch. Like it launched mid-January and it didn't take off until end of January, and it went like literally crazy. So I like to analyze volume again with MCC V1. The first 4 hours, $3 million. Then $2.2 million. Then 600,000. Again, when you see volume in millions within the first 4 hours, this is going to be the play of the year. Now we can look at more recent plays. Yeah, Ship Doggy is like one of the plays that gave me like that 40-50x. This went to be a $200 million market cap. Again, in the first 4 hours, 650,000, 400,000, so almost $1 million in 8 hours. Still very good volume. When we zoom out, you see what happens after few days or a week or two. This is why, like, when you ape on something and it goes sideways, that doesn't mean it's dead. But you need to go to the Telegram, understand if they are working on a utility, on marketing, on partnerships. Like you need to start digging deeper after you ape. In the first few minutes, I just care about the volume. Any questions?
Can someone share the screen? Because I'm not able to see the screen.
We need an extra screen share, please. What are the filters for Dex Screener? The filters that I use, I go by Ethereum network and the 1 hour time frame. This is what I like to see.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm just wondering, so in the first few minutes, or even in the first 4 hours, when you see the volume going up, like into the millions, at that point, how can you assess whether it's a honeypot or not? Are there any signs?
If the volume in millions and you see lots of buys and sells, here's the thing. If you are seeing 5, 6, 10 sells, this is not enough. Because if people like at that level of profit, 100x or a 50x, and no one is selling, this is a honeypot. Now, I'll show you what will give you a 50 to 60% accuracy, which is token sniffer. Like, let's see. Yes, like let's take this one. To start with, looking at this chart, what do we say about this chart? Like I call this chart straight to heaven. There is no straight to heaven thing in this life. So this is a honeypot, even though I'm seeing some red candles, I see some sells, but this chart will like, it already did an 80,000%. 80,000% is an 80x. You are telling me someone ate with one ETH and has now 80 ETH and not selling? This is bullshit. So this is a honeypot. Now I'm telling you, this report on Token Sniffer will be wrong. It will show as a safe play. If you are on Dex Screener, click scan on Token Sniffer. It shows you that it's not a honeypot. But Token Sniffer is only 50 to 60% accurate. Because developers are smart now, they can get around the audit and show as if it's sellable. But this one, I know it's not.
Oh. So how long will you wait? How long will you wait then? Will you wait 4 hours or 8 hours before you buy?
No. Usually I buy within the first 15 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
But it shows, like, you can tell from, like, let's open this one. Like, I want to see at least 15 to 20, $30,000 volume within 15 minutes.
Okay.
Let's go at the 5 minutes chart. Now, within the first 5 minutes, no volume. Then $27,000, $28,000. So already within the first 10 minutes, it had almost $50,000. Then 16, like we are at the $60,000, $70,000. So this is not like, sorry, this is not something that will die that fast with $70,000 in 10 minutes. I don't want to ape on something with like a total of $5,000 or $10,000 volume. I want to see at least $20,000 to $50,000 volume within the first 10 to 15 minutes. Now, if you ape within the first like 5 minutes on this one, let me go to the 1 minute. You are at like probably 15 to 20x. So it is like based on your risk tolerance. For me, like literally today, we had a call, like people were like, is it a honeypot? It's not a honeypot. So I was like, I'll throw $100. If that $100 goes to be $3,000, it's fine. If I lose it, I lose it. I'm literally paying more than $100 a day on gas. So it's like based on your risk tolerance. For this one, if I found this like early when it was like $10,000-$15,000, I'll ape on it. I know this one went to be a $400,000 market cap. It dipped now, understandably, people taking profit, but still, this is a $250,000. So if you aped at like $20,000 market cap, you are at 12, 13x. Like
Wow.
into more perspective, 0.1 will be a 1 ETH, or $300 will be $3,000.
Wow.
And I know that many from our Wolves group on this one, and they are at probably 5 to 7x now. Guys, if anyone aped on this one, please let me know. Because it was cooled in here.
Oh.
Kwam, are you here?
Just figuring my stream.
Okay. Anyway, so this is a play that we aped on. I'll show you another play that I had over 25x. I didn't sell, and we'll show you what happened. This was a play from last week. I aimed around here. When like the first candle was like $50,000, second candle 23, so it's over the $50,000 volume, which looks decent. Latest. Okay, let's add dollar sign. No results. Let's try with the contract. Let me check the contract. Some of them will have the contract on the Ether scan. Okay. This is the Telegram. See, it's part of the contract. From there, you go to the Ether, to the Telegram, check the community, check if the dev and the team is involved. Like the research here is like the research we do with NFTs. You want to see a good development team. You see if they are involved with the Telegram. You want to see the community if they are good. What is the utility? What they are doing? Like this is what you want to see. Like the way you research NFTs, you research these tokens. Like for example, why after selling MCC, I went back and bought in. Because MCC, like everyone knows that I am an MCC maxi. MCC is not a shitcoin. MCC actually is a DeFi. Like I'm sure most of you know what is DeFi, but MCC turns to be a monster. I think MCC has the potential to be a 500 million to $1 billion market cap. So I went in heavy. I didn't buy into MCC when they relaunched with like 0.1 or 0.2. I went in with like 2 ETH because I know this play can be my next 100x play, and I want to exit with 200 ETH now. I don't want to exit with 10 ETH on MCC because it's a legit business. Like let me show you an example on what is MCC. This is just an example. Dashboard. Why it's not showing? Okay, let's go to the Medium article. This was posted like last week. Total treasury value is $24 million. Now, MCC, when I researched this project, it's not a shitcoin or a meme coin with no purpose. They created this project as if it's a hedge fund from Wall Street. Everyone here knows what is the hedge fund. Hedge fund is like a firm billionaires and millionaires go to, give them like their money, and that hedge fund start to invest in other projects. So MCC does the same, but for shitcoins. You buy MCC, they go and invest, and they grow that treasury wallet. The treasury wallet, as we speak, at almost $25 million, and we know that the crypto market is already down. So once the crypto market reverses and be more bullish, this treasury wallet might be at $50 to $100 million. Now, when we say the assets under management at $25 million, usually the company valuation is like 5 to 10x the assets under management. So MCC is undervalued now just because the crypto market as a whole is shitty. MCC went through some FUD the last 2 weeks, so it went down. But they already have $25 million in assets. And if you go to the Medium article, they will show you the distribution and like where they are investing, how much profit they make. So they act as like a publicly traded company, giving the holders and investors weekly updates on their investments. This is how you do the research in general. I just gave an example here. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up, CryptoPal? Sorry. I got a question about MCC. Are you still bullish on it? After all this, all the that's been going on.
I just mentioned I'm still bullish, and I didn't buy into MCC with a small amount. I have 2 ETH and I keep adding with whenever I have extra liquidity, I keep adding into MCC. Remember, we are not yet in the shitcoin season. Shitcoin season actually starts when crypto as a whole is bullish. Remember, crypto as a whole is not bullish. As long as we are under $3,400 for ETH, we are still sideways. So the bigger plays like MCC will not pump now. It will pump once Ether goes to a more bullish movement. Now we are still trading within this channel for the last since last week of January. So we've been almost for 2 months on a sideways movement. This is like neutral market sentiment. This is not bullish for crypto as a whole. Once we start seeing this type of movement on ETH, you will see how these legit plays, MCC, ReFi, these are not shitcoins. These are not meme coins. These are legit plays. Let's not look at MCC. Let's look at another thing, ReFi. Another good example. I am not invested in ReFi, but I know they are doing well.
Yeah, I'm invested in Expo, ReFi. I'm looking into MCC right now, thinking about maybe taking up one of the NFT, the nodes.
Now, ReFi is a good example to run our analysis on it. Now, on the 4 hours, remember, I prefer to, I aped on ReFi literally when it was $200,000-$300,000. And I sold at $12 million on day one, literally went to $11 million on day one. In the first 4 hours, $6 million. What do we see? What do we say when we see this type of volume? This is no joke. Then $1.7 million. We are already at $8 million just within 8 hours. So this is not a shitcoin that will die. Now we see the sideways movement, which is okay. Just like with NFTs, the project launched, then they start developing their utility. So as they develop their utility, there won't be any pumps. But once they launch it, it will go crazy. ReFi went from $2 million all the way to $120 million in a matter of 72 hours maybe. So I don't care when I see a coin at with a side movement, especially if it starts strong. Because if it starts strong with so much volume, that means the development wallet and the marketing wallet are fat, and they will be able to execute on the promise or the vision. And this went all the way to $120 million. Now, if we look at any decent plays, we will see most of them retraced hard. This is because Ether retraced hard. And with the bigger plays, they follow ETH. And actually, they don't follow ETH, they follow Bitcoin. I always call it crypto market is a train, with Bitcoin being the head of that train. If Bitcoin is going up, everything will go up with it. If Bitcoin is falling off a cliff, everything will dump with it. So our anchor is Bitcoin. This was called probably an hour or 2 hours ago. probably most of Habibi is now at 20x profit here. Market cap at almost $400 million. And this is like doing some like 350,000 in volume. And it's not even like, let's check. 4 hours. It's been out for 8 hours, like not even 8 hours. So this is looking good. That doesn't mean you ape on it now. It's like at 40x. Don't ape on this now. Actually, not 40x. This is at 69x now since launch.
Can I ask a question? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Hopefully that you can hear me. When you say you're buying today, where are you putting the positions on? And because depending on what time of day that the contract is issued and launched, it determines if you're going to get into the position or not. So I'm wondering if you can put standing orders in and orders in that are good to fill or good to cancel, or do you just put in orders at the minute and then get the hell out when you need to get out?
You can do pending orders or like take profit or stop loss on decentralized exchanges. It's all manual in here. You need to be on your laptop, finding this first 15 minutes candle and decide to jump or no.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
May I ask something?
Yes,
How do you adjust slippage?
I'll show you now. Okay, I see a comment in the crypto channel from Habibi. He aped at 70k market cap and it's at $400,000. So he is at 50x. How to adjust slippage? Again, this is a thing. Don't ever buy on DEX tool. You can buy on DEX tool, but DEX is unoptimized for gas and has higher fees. So always click on swap. You will see this link. Try on Uniswap. Some of them will be on SushiSwap. So always go through DEX tool, click swap, click this link. It will open that contract in Uniswap. Go for ETH, switch. So now you want to buy ETH. You want to buy this token with ETH. How to adjust slippage? You click on this wheel and you adjust slippage from there. My default, I keep my swap at 22%.
Thanks.
Welcome. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one more. Since we know that we have to avoid honeypots, and they work like this, that you are not allowed to sell a token, but some address may be whitelisted for that, yes?
Yes.
Is there any way we can check in the contract? Are there some particular strings of lines that we can check?
Yes, if you know how to read contracts, you can find if it's a honeypot or no. I personally don't know that. I was thinking of taking like a course on Solidity, but I found that my time better go into like volume. I'll invest in 10 coins. I'll be okay messing on 8 being rugged, or like a honeypot will be clear from the get-go. When you don't see cells, when you see the chart is like super weird, it's a honeypot. Even within the first 15 minutes, you will find sellers, and they will be more than 2 or 3 sellers. Because within the 15 minutes, some people at 3 to 5x, and not everyone is as greedy as looking for that 10, 20x. So if I don't see selling, it's probably a honeypot. But I don't do the research into going to the contract and trying to read into all the code. I don't do it because I don't understand contracts.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
I think we should consider paying someone. Then, if we would like to make it as a group, we could pay share pay some developer to check.
Yeah, this can be an option in the future.
Yo,
If I can chime in on that, with what I know of Solidity, these developers are clever and they can change the name. These are not NFTs. There's no standards. So it'll be very difficult for us to be one step ahead of the HoneyPot. There's just, because like from what I saw yesterday in Alpha Wolf, I saw that the developer came in late in the day and he changed the contract. So it would be really difficult, I think, for us to do it, but I'm not going to stop anyone.
Yeah, this is why like I didn't waste my time into learning that. I have an understanding with myself that I'm okay to being rugged as long as I am scoring those 10 to 20x on a weekly basis. They will pay for all the rugs.
Yo, so when a token is like a honeypot, right? How do you like when you try to sell? Does it allow you to create the transaction, but it just doesn't let you confirm it or something, or does it not even let you?
It doesn't even open the MetaMask
Okay.
to sign.
Oh, I see.
Like this is a honeypot. Like we need to understand. Whenever you see this, it's a honeypot.
Yeah.
Like let's look at the last 6 hours. Like you need to have like some really deep red candles. Like let's go 5 minutes. Like you can see, this is like from the get-go, not a honeypot. It's obvious. So many people are selling. Let's look at. This is how you see the profits people are taking. Like when you see a number next to the transaction with a green, that means he sold for a profit. This guy aped with 0.05, exited with 0.8, almost a 20x. This one is not greedy, aped with 0.45, exited with 0.74. This is not bad. Not being greedy is good because I call this the casino effect. The problem with the casino, they don't allow you to play with real dollars because it will be hard to throw $1,000 into the table. But if you have this cheap plastic chips, you won't feel the value of that plastic chip. Same with ETH. The problem when we say he is not greedy, he exited with 0.3 profit, but 0.3 profit is $1,000. If you can make 0.3 profit per day, you are making $30,000 a month. This is more than 99% of the population. So not being greedy and being disciplined with your investment, you can like make a great living off shitcoins regardless if they moon or no. Because making 0.3, this is literally, he didn't have like a 2x. He had a 1.3, 1.4x and exited with a profit.
Also, whenever you're talking about like market cap, like I bought in at like a 50K market cap or whatever, where exactly on the chart are you looking at that? Because I can only see like the volume. Oh, I see. Okay.
Pool info, you will see the market cap. So now we are at 386.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I have a question as well.
Go ahead.
For people that haven't ever been into coins like myself, I don't know if I'm the only one. Would you be able to explain like everything in the pool info and like how it correlates with the coin? Like what is it about or what it's explaining about that coin?
Okay. Good question. Now, this is the market cap. It will show you like assuming that I ape now. So I aped at 400. Let's say this is a $400,000 market cap. It goes to be at a 4 million. Then I did a 10x. This is number of transactions. So we had in the last 8 hours 900 transactions. Number of holders 193. So this is not a honeypot. This is legit. Like 193 different wallets bought and sold. Pooled scarecrow, whatever its name. Like, you need to understand, this is not like the typical centralized exchanges. There is no market maker here. We have a pool. In that pool, the developer has to add that token with ETH, or let's say with. You will see pooled with. So they had 13 with added to that pool. What does that mean? Now there's a reason we don't call it buy and sell. We call it swap. Let me go to Uniswap. I aim to this one with 0.05. I am at a little over 3x now. It says swap, it doesn't say sell. Why? Because now I'll give the pool 1.2 billion of that token, and I'll take from that pool 0.17 ETH. If I'm buying, I'm giving that pool let's say 0.1 ETH, and I'm taking from that pool this amount. This is what you see in here about the pool. Remember, we are interacting with liquidity pools here. We don't buy and sell. We only swap. This is not a concept that you need to understand, but this is how it is. And unlike the centralized exchanges like Coinbase or Binance, say for Binance, you are setting to sell your ETH at 3,400. Unless there is someone buying ETH at that price, your order won't be executed. This is different with Shitcoins or Uniswap. You will swap immediately here because you are taking and giving to a pool. Is that clear about the pool and the info in here?
Yeah, appreciate it.
And like the total liquidity is like the ether in that pool times the ether value now. The pooled with what in that pool. Like if someone comes now and decided to buy 100 billion of this token will go to be 50x immediately because he is literally buying the whole pool. No one can afford it. No one can do it. But this is like in theory. Like he is taking everything from that pool and making it like 99.9% just ETH. So no one can do that. But this is like the main theory behind what is a liquidity pool.
Hi, can I ask a question? Hi. So I've been trying to check out on Scarecrow for the last 40 minutes, but I'm stuck on the swap in Uniswap. Every time I click on swap and confirm swap, nothing happens. I tried adjusting slippage to 37%.
Okay. On this one?
Yeah, on Scarecrow, yeah.
Let me check. Trying to sell. Change your browser.
Oh, okay.
Because it's obviously not a honeypot. It opens for me to sell, so...
Well, it went through the first time, but it failed. So I'm just trying it again, but right now it's not pulling up MetaMask. So I know it can go through, but yeah.
What browser are you using?
Brave.
Brave. I use Chrome. And I never had this issue when it's not a honeypot.
Okay. Alright, thank you.
Welcome.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm just wondering, how often are you trading these coins? Are these moves happening on a daily basis, a weekly basis? Like, how often do these opportunities come up?
Let me show you how often. Let's go to the last 24 hours and see how many launched within the last 24 hours. Keep in mind, Saturday and Sunday are the worst days for shitcoins. Like shitcoins, just like with NFTs, they need volume. Volume comes Monday to Friday, and preferably during the US when the Americans are awake. Still, the US has the most volume. So even though we are on a Sunday, so considered a slow day,
Bro, don't fucking irritate right now. Just don't come
on a slow day.
Oh, wow.
Yes. This is why, like, on our next stream, I'll teach you how to practice. Don't jump. For now, here's what you need to do. Actually, let me do it now, so I save you from making some losses here. Now, create a spreadsheet. One second, let me fix it because I created this on the fly yesterday. Because if you play and lose on your first, second, and third, you will be disappointed, discouraged, and probably never try to trade again, which is bad because this you only need one play to make some life-changing money. So my advice, not to jump into buying and selling immediately. Create this spreadsheet, have Dick's screener, like take the next 5 days, Monday to Friday, to what I call it, play with monopoly money. Don't play with your ETH. Assuming you find a coin called UDA, you found it at $50,000 market cap. Don't go buy it. Pretend that you bought with 0.1. Monitor that coin for 3-4 days. Now, don't do one coin a day. I want you to do like 5 coins a day for the next 3-4 days. So I want this spreadsheet to have like 20 plays. Now, assuming you aimed on UDA with 0.1 at $50,000 market cap, it reached $1 million. That means your 0.1 exit 2 ETH. Because if you do a 20x, that's a 2 ETH. Now, you will see what you will be able to achieve without using your money. You train your eye to find honeypots, to find drugs, to avoid bad plays for the next 5 days. Don't expect that you are like missing out, because literally we have more than 50 to 100 new tokens every day.
Wow.
Yes. So don't jump into playing just now. Practice with the spreadsheet. Like if you aimed on a coin called UDA, have it and have that chart open for the next 5 days. If you monitor 5 plays each day for the next 5 days, you will have 20 to 25 plays into your spreadsheet. From there, you will see what was the potential exit or total profit, how many times you were robbed, and what is the potential there. I know that this is why I called it gambling. Like literally, I've seen people. I did like this, a similar VC in Habibis and Destos. Like I have a guy in Habibi. He has 100% win rate now. His first 3 plays were like a 5x, 10x, and 20x. This doesn't happen every day. So better, and I have people that already had 8 plays and all of them were losers. So take your time to practice, take your time to train your eye to find better plays. Because here is the thing, if you are expert, why aim with 0.05? If you have good liquidity, you can aim with 0.2. If it goes to a 10x, this is like a 2 ETH a day profit. And a 10x and shitcoins happens literally every hour, not every day. Like if we go back to the Dex screener, let's see how many did over 10x within the last 24 hours. Like this Vici, it's not a honeypot, it has over 200 cells. It did 1,200. That's 12x. This is a honeypot. Let me look. Yes, Straight to Heaven is a honeypot. Cool Cats, just reading the name, we know, like if you see Gucci, LV, Metaverse, Facebook, like any big brand name, it's a honeypot without opening. But if I open this one, it's a honeypot. Again, Straight to Heaven. This coin. Again, this is a honeypot. This one did a 7,600% in the last 6 hours, not even last 24 hours. So this did a 76x. You don't need to make 76x. Sell at the 10x. So if you aped with like 0.1, you can exit this one with 1 ETH. Imagine if you do that daily. Another good play. This one did an 8,600%. This is an A6X. You don't need to catch the very first candle. You just need to do a 10X, which is 1,000%. You don't need 8,600%. Now, if you found, like, let's look at a play. Ooh, this is doing well. I'm at 4x into this one, and I literally aimed like before this call. But let me go and look into a game that a play that I've seen people excited about. Like one day, you will find one of these. Like this one went to be a $15 million market cap. $15 million, like even if you aped late at $100,000 market cap, this is still 150x. 150x mean 0.1 will give you a 15 ETH exit.
Oh,
and
okay.
Like this launched on 9th of February, like a month ago. It's at $15 million. And I know people excited about this. Now, I'm not suggesting you go buy. You don't buy something after, like, let's look at the forecast. Where's the forecast? Okay, probably this launched at a higher market cap. It's at 45x. So 0.1 is a 5 ETH into this one. But again, like maybe this goes, like it's at almost 500,000. Most of us aped under 100,000. I personally aped close to the 100,000. Who knows? Maybe this goes to be a $10 million. $10 million for me, my 0.05 will be 5 ETH. So the risk to reward is there. This is why I suggest to jump with a small amount, because a small amount in the right coin can be life-changing. And that 5 ETH from there can give you enough liquidity to start jumping into more coins. Like we've seen Quam, he turned $100 into $5,000 in a day with this. Any more questions?
Is there a place to see what you're doing?
What do you mean?
Like just to see like what trades you're making.
I usually post when I jump on anything, on any coin.
Okay.
I don't make calls because making it an official call is very risky. Because we understand now that we are okay being rugged, but I am not okay having other being rugged with my call.
Right, that makes sense.
So
yeah.
I just posted within a chat. Like if you go to our crypto channel, you'll see that this was called at $70,000 market cap. So it's at a 7x since it was called earlier today, like 2 hours ago.
Okay.
Kwam, did you post this in our chat?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
He posted and he tagged everyone. So we don't post these in the alpha calls because these are riskier, but we post them within the chat channels.
Okay.
That's a question as well. When do you decide to exit the shitcoin?
This is your decision, not mine, sir. If you are happy with a 5x, exit. If you are happy with a 10x, exit. I had a 25x last week and I didn't sell. So it's just your target. Like, what is your target? My advice for the newbies, don't be greedy. Take profit or at least take initials. Like, if you are at a 5x, you can take initials and you still have like 40, 60 or 70% of your bag into the coin. Like, for example, this one. I ate with 0.05. I am at 0.22. This is close to like more than 4x. I'll go, let's see, I'll sell 0.07. So with this, I'll take my initials and a very small profit. It's not even profit, but this is how you do it. You keep the rest as a moon bag.
Do you have any more tips or tricks for people?
Again, taking profit is a personal preference. I always tell people that I am personally into the 20 to 100x. I am not into the 3 to 5x profits, but this is a personal preference. I am okay losing 2 ETH, find that 100x. I don't know about your liquidity, about your financial situation. So if you are newbie, just start taking at least initials, then you can leave the rest for the 20 or 30x.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome.
I wanted to ask about that group, crypto channel on Habibi's. Do you need to have Habibi, or Bibi also allows you to enter?
It's open for BBs, but most of the calls that we call there, Kwam called them here as well.
Oh, cool.
I'm not here to promote Habibi.
Do you do private sales?
What?
Do you do private sales?
What do you mean private sales?
Like before the token launch?
No. Here's the thing. This is again personal preference. I don't go into like Telegram, start finding these very early Telegram groups. I just want to find something on Dex Screener, ape very early on it, and call it a day. But yes, private sale are somehow good, but I've seen them rug. Like, you can join a private sale and they can disappear and never launch. So I prefer to find something that launched. I know it's not a honeypot, and I jump on there. Like, there are many ways to do the 10 to 20x on Shitcoins that I personally avoid private sales.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions? When torch, I don't ape on anything. As mentioned, I like to see some kind of volume because we have more than 100 tokens launched every day. I can jump on 100 tokens. I want to jump on 2 to 3, 4 maximum per day and take it from there. But I like to see the volume first and jump on those that have somehow a decent volume.
Can I ask a question about your setup?
Yes.
You use Dex tools, and then you use Dex Screener. Can you and then you also use TradingView, correct?
No, TradingView, I use it for ETH or small caps blue chips.
But it's TradingView is on Dex Tools. That's what you're looking at.
Yes.
When you're on Dex Tools, this is TradingView. That chart you're seeing is TradingView.
Correct.
Can you use TradingView and avoid using Dex Tools? Is there a way to do this without swapping between three different things or two different things?
No. You don't need TradingView. Let me close it. Ignore TradingView. Because here is why I need Dex tool. Because when I want to buy or sell, it's only one click, swap, and it takes me to Uniswap. You can't do this with TradingView. And I use Dex tools for the pool info, to see the transactions, to see the, yes, this is looking good for me now. A lot of sells. This is what we call a lot of buys, a buy wall. So this is looking good for me now. So this is why I like to use Dex tools. From here, I can go to any transaction. I see everything I need from Dex tools. So I use Dex tools for the charting and info, and to jump from it to Uniswap. I use Dex screener to find these plays. As we can see, Care was launched under 4 hours ago. Habibi's found it when it was 15-20 minutes into launch, and they aped when it was under $50,000 market cap. So many people in Habibi's now on over 10x profit. And by the way, the guy that found this play, this was his second play. He had one play. I had a VC yesterday. He had a play, did a 4x on that play, and he found this one too. So every situation will be different. I suggest that you start with the spreadsheet, train your eye for a few days, then start using your ETH.
What would you think about wool and bytes and the other plays, P2E tokens? Would you consider those a part of this or not really?
Again, can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. The tokens that come from games, like Ren for Ethereal Elves, Wolf for Wolf Game, Bytes for Neo Tokyo.
Yeah, and it's not a big fan, because most of these tokens, they have airdrop or passive earning mechanism for holders. So many people, they already have that token without buying it. Just like with any airdrop. Another example of what you are saying is all the airdrops that we had, like Lux, X2Y2. This is a very similar example to what you mentioned. Why it's not opening? 1 second.
We can use ApeCoin if you want.
ApeCoin is a different scenario. ApeCoin is a ticket for those that Bayek is by far the biggest brand in the industry. So people are buying Ape just to rub shoulders with the Bayek ecosystem. It's not because but this is another airdrop. They actually had the claiming paused for 3 days. This is why it jumped. But once they opened the claiming, I personally had over 1 ETH claimed when I spent 0 from X2Y2. You can see what happened. I think the maximum was 1,000 tokens. I claimed 1,000. It reached 4.5. That was almost 2 ETH claim with 0 spent. I'm not sure if you've been here since November. Since November, we had so many of these airdrops. Another one is Lux, reached $7 and now under $1 for 1.2, 1.3. This is why I hate these airdrops. I don't buy them. Yes, I'll be happy to claim and sell, but I don't buy. You can see what happens, because as people claim, it will dump. This is free money.
So then the other one that I like to mention and just get your opinion on is Magic from Treasure. What's your thought on that one?
I've heard of Magic, never played it, but I've heard that it's good. Now, depends on that ecosystem. Which one? This one? What do they do if they have like an upcoming event or upcoming mint, and the mint will be with that token? Like, yes, another example, Magic or Banana by Cyberkonks. Like, we know that Banana is the reason Cyberkonk Genesis reached 200 ETH. It's at $11 now. I don't know why we don't have the full chart. Probably they changed the liquidity pool, but Banana reached $120 and now it's at $11. And in general, I hate airdrop or passive yield tokens, period. Now, you'll find one or two that will do well, but I like to play the odds.
Okay, thank you. Because that's part of the ecosystem here with coins. And so it's hard for me right now to figure out what is what. It seems like you like to play the ICO game and the early ICOs and then get out within the first 5 or 10 days.
Yes, correct. Any last question?
Are you tracking some wallets?
Nope. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, just tag me in the group and I'll do my best to answer all questions. We will probably have another VC in the next week to 10 days to do a follow-up and more deep dive into shitcoins.